Good afternoon everyone and welcome to a new video on the channel. It is Sunday the 30th of March 2025 and I'm currently in Porto in Portugal, where I've just finished watching Lejoice 0, Liera 1 in the Liga Portugal 2, and now I'm heading over to Vilanova de Famalicão for FC Famalicão versus AVS in the Portuguese Primeira Division. So without further ado, let's get into this. So here I'm in Famalicão, and going into this afternoon's game, Famalicão are in 9th place in the Portuguese Primeira Division table, while AVS are in 15th place, which is just one place above the relegation playoff spot. It's a local derby of sorts. These two towns are less than 10 miles apart, although they've only ever played each other once previously, which was the reverse of this fixture earlier in the season, in which Famalicão ran out 3-2 winners. But you look at the league table, it is an important game for AVS. I think by all accounts they are a relatively new club on the scene. I'm going to be totally honest again, I don't know a massive deal about this league outside of the obvious big three within this division, but maybe it could end up being a bit like the Eredivisie, who knows, because I do go to a lot of games in that particular league outside of your obvious three that everyone kind of relates to, and you see some very, very good games. I mean, I'm just hoping that it's a little bit better than the game that I went to this morning, but you can't do much about that. But I've got to say that it's actually dirt cheap to get into this game. It is a top flight game. It was only €10 for a ticket, so you definitely can't grumble at that. And when you consider in England you pay what 20 odd quid to watch a National League game, yeah, we're being robbed blind, aren't we? So yeah, hopefully it'll be good value for money. But let's head on down to the Estadio Municipal de Famalicão and find out how it all unfolds. Here we are then, a new one off the list. So the teams are warming up, AVS getting ready in this half. Not sure what colours they're going to be in this afternoon, and Famalicão have just come out here. I think possibly in a dark blue, but could even be in white. I really don't know, but we'll obviously find out when the players are coming out of the tunnel and ready to start the match.
Estão aí as três equipas. Vai começar o espetáculo!
I'll tell you what, Famalicão's anthem is very feel good. Well, let's just hope this game is a little bit better than the one from this morning.
Oh!
Esquerda, caralho.
Half time for Famalicão 0, AFS 0. You couldn't pay my expenses to come back to Portugal for football. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It is absolute shite. I mean, yes, this game has been a little bit better than the previous one, but still far too tepid. Like players feigning injury, it's absolutely embarrassing to watch. It's absolutely shameful. Like some of these players won't last 5 seconds in England or Scotland, if I'm telling the truth. Like just weak as piss, honestly. It's like the goalkeepers have barely been tested. Like it's just not been an enjoyable day, and I know this month in general has been shite, but honestly, what a waste of time this whole day has been. But anyway, on to the second half.
Não,
5 minutes of added time at the end of this game. 5 minutes.
Tempo adicional mínimo do jogo, 5 minutos. Estádio Municipal desse forte aplauso pelo Futebol Clube de Famalicão.
So I need to book myself a cab back to the airport now. For the purposes of this being the second part of the Portugal and Back in a Day series, I am going to film my journey back home. So let's do this. Full-time FC Famalicão 4, AVS 1. It is the day after, it's the night after actually. I obviously didn't get a chance to do my outro last night because by the time I got to that hotel in Manchester, I was just, as you can probably understand, absolutely knackered. Then I've been at work all day today, so this is actually the first opportunity that I've had to do this match review, but yeah, I think in the end it turned out to be a decent enough game. I don't think anyone probably saw that scoreline coming at half time, but there we go. And I think what I was alluding to at half time with players going down a bit too easily and that sort of thing, it's a bit of a shame really, because I think that as games go, it showed in the second half that there's some decent enough skilled players in that league and that can play entertaining stuff. It was just as a spectator really frustrating the fact that it was just so tepid in the first half and it took ages to get going. The first game of yesterday was kind of similar really. I mean, the second half it obviously did perk up a little bit. I mean, granted that was a really poor game of football, and this one was obviously I think you'd have to say quite considerably better in the end, and I think all in all Famalicão did deserve their win. I think they took all the goals pretty well. They obviously got pegged back, but they soon put that right, and eventually they just made it pretty comfortable in the end, and I think it maybe showed just why AVS are struggling quite notably just now. The fact that on 52 minutes it was still 0-0 and they ended up getting beat 4-1, and obviously within that time they did find an equaliser, but other than their goal they didn't really create too much throughout the course of the game, did they? But let's have a bit of a chat now about the overall experience. I thought it was a neat little setup there, I've got to say. I mean, in hindsight now, I'm kind of wishing that I'd taken a cap with us, or I'd at least put some sunblock on, because I'm kind of feeling the effects of that today. I'm not going to lie, my legs are quite sunburnt. Behind my ears is quite sunburnt. So if you ever do find yourself going to Famalicão and it's a sunny day, yeah, just do take the do the necessary things to guard against the sun, especially in that stand that I was in, which was uncovered. I mean, if you're over the other side, it's probably not so bad because it's in the shade. Also, you've got a roof over your head and that sort of thing. But I in my case, failing to prepare was preparing to fail. But all in all, it was quite it was a decent enough overall atmosphere there. I think it was a really nice kind of community to go into, and I mean, even myself before I went yesterday, I wouldn't have maybe ever thought to have gone to a game in the Portuguese leagues, or maybe outside of your usual Benfica, Sporting, Porto, and Braga. But I think I'm gonna say now is what I say about people is my advice that I give to people that are planning on going to games in Scotland and for when they're going to games in the Netherlands. Give these so-called smaller clubs a try. I know I think if you compare it to the Netherlands, it's easy just to look to Feyenoord, PSV, Ajax, and in Portugal's case, easy just to look to the two in Lisbon and Porto, but I found it quite interesting to go to a really small ground in what probably a few years ago was one of Europe's top 5 leagues. The fact that you get in stadiums that are that small in a top flight league, obviously sides that could easily break it into European football. I don't think Famalicão are going to do that. I think they're pretty bound for mid-table, but it's one that I probably never thought I was going to do, but it's one that I've ended up going to, and that is kind of the beauty of these European trips, isn't it? The fact that there's some places I wouldn't think to go to, some clubs that I've never even heard of, but just somehow do wangle away into my season each year. So all the best to Famalicão going forward. But that is that for this video, and I'll be back on Wednesday night with Norton and Stockton Ancients versus Winskill. So back to the bread and butter a little bit into the Wearside League. But until then, take care. Cheers for watching. See you later.